2 stones, no cement, no steel reinforcements, no modern machinery. And yet, they meet with a level of precision that modern engineers still study today. Their surfaces touch so closely that even after thousands of years, the gap between them remains nearly invisible. No welding, no adhesive, no digital measurement tools, just stone shaped by human hands and guided by principles that predate modern science. This is not simply construction. This is engineering in its most fundamental form. Because precision at this scale is never accidental. It is designed, it is planned, it is executed with intent. Rising from the Giza Plateau, the Great Pyramid stands as one of the most analyzed structures in human history. Completed approximately 4,500 years ago, it contains more than 2.3 million individual stone blocks, each weighing between 2 and 70 tons, together forming a structure that once rose to a height of 146 meters. But beyond its size lies something more difficult to explain: its precision. The base is aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal directions. Its orientation deviates from true north by less than a fraction of a degree. Its foundation remains remarkably level across an area covering more than 5 hectares. Even today, achieving this level of accuracy requires advanced surveying instruments and digital calibration systems. Yet this structure was built without any of them. Modern factories operate in an entirely different world. Digital models exist before physical materials are ever touched. Computer simulations predict stress distribution and structural behavior. Laser scanning devices measure surfaces down to fractions of a millimeter. Automated cutting machines follow programmed instructions with flawless consistency. Cranes move massive components effortlessly through hydraulic force. Sensors monitor every stage of production, every angle verified, every measurement recorded, every deviation corrected in real time. Precision is achieved through instrumentation, through automation, through computational control. It is the result of systems designed to eliminate uncertainty. But ancient builders worked without these systems. They worked without computers, without steel frames, without powered machinery, and yet they achieved structural precision at a scale that still commands respect from modern engineers. This raises a fundamental engineering question. Not whether modern tools are more advanced, but how ancient builders achieve precision using only geometry, observation, and coordination. Because engineering is not defined by tools alone, it is defined by understanding. Understanding of materials, understanding of forces, understanding of structure, and that understanding is visible in every stone that still stands today. Before a single block could be aligned, it first had to be separated from bedrock. Quarrying is the beginning of all stone architecture, and 4,500 years ago, this process began. Without engines, without hydraulic drills, workers stood before limestone cliffs armed with copper chisels, wooden mallets, dolerite pounding stones, and patience. Copper, a relatively soft metal, dulled quickly against limestone surfaces. Tools required constant sharpening. Repetition defined progress. Blocks were not sliced cleanly from the earth. They were gradually released through abrasion and controlled fracturing. Channels were cut into the rock face, wooden wedges inserted into narrow grooves. Water poured over the wood to induce expansion. As the wedges swelled, internal stress built within the stone. Eventually, the rock fractured along predictable lines. Not through brute force alone, but through understanding of material behavior. Granite posed an even greater challenge. Unlike limestone, granite is significantly harder and denser. Found primarily near Aswan, nearly 800 kilometers from Giza, it required transport before shaping even began. Dolerite pounding stones were used to repeatedly strike granite surfaces, each impact removing minute fragments. Over days and weeks, surfaces were gradually shaped. This was not cutting in the modern sense, it was erosion through human persistence. Grooves were carved around intended block boundaries, pressure applied strategically, fracture lines controlled through geometry rather than speed. There were no accelerants, no combustion-based fragmentation, no mechanized extraction systems, only time, coordination, and applied physics in its most elemental form. Modern quarrying operates on an entirely different scale. Diamond wire saws glide through stone faces with continuous rotational motion. High-tension cables embedded with industrial diamonds slice through granite with millimetric tolerance. Hydraulic drills bore deep into rock layers. Controlled explosives fracture sections with calculated force distribution. GPS mapping systems model entire quarry geometries before extraction begins. Sensors monitor vibration levels to prevent uncontrolled cracking. Computer systems predict yield ratios and optimize cutting paths for minimal waste. Blocks weighing dozens of tons can be extracted in hours rather than weeks. Precision is no longer achieved through repeated manual strikes, it is programmed into machinery. And yet, the engineering objective remains identical: separate mass from Earth without compromising structural integrity. Whether through copper chisels or diamond cables, stone obeys the same physical laws. Stress concentrates along weak planes. Fractures propagate under tension. Compression resists displacement. Ancient quarry workers did not describe these principles mathematically, but their techniques reveal applied understanding. They learned how stone behaves under force, how expansion creates pressure, how geometry controls fracture direction. Modern engineers formalize these principles through material science and fracture mechanics. Ancient engineers internalized them through repetition and observation. The tools evolved, the physics did not. And in both eras, precision begins long before construction even starts. Separating stone from the earth was only the beginning. Moving it was the true engineering challenge. Each block, weighing several tons, had to travel from quarry to construction site. Some moved hundreds of meters, others moved hundreds of kilometers. Without wheels designed for heavy loads, without engines, without mechanical lifting systems, ancient builders relied on sleds constructed from wood, flat platforms designed to distribute weight across a larger surface area. These sleds did not eliminate friction, they managed it, because friction is not an obstacle that can be ignored. It is a force that must be understood and controlled. Experimental archaeology has revealed something remarkable. When dry sand sits beneath a heavy sled, friction resists motion aggressively, but when sand is slightly moistened, its internal structure stiffens, reducing deformation beneath the sled's weight. This reduces friction dramatically, lowering the force required to move multi-ton blocks. Ancient wall paintings depict workers pouring liquid in front of sleds, not as ritual, but as engineering. Teams of workers pulled in synchronized motion, coordinated force applied through ropes made from plant fibers. Each individual contributing incremental energy combined into controlled, continuous movement. Movement was slow, but it was predictable. And predictability is essential in any large-scale transport system. For granite blocks transported from Aswan, the Nile River became part of the engineering solution. Barges carried massive stones across hundreds of kilometers of water. Water reduces friction more effectively than land, allowing large masses to move with minimal resistance. But even water transport required careful planning. Loading and unloading operations demanded ramps, leverage systems, and precise balance. A misaligned load could capsize a vessel. A sudden shift in weight could destroy weeks of progress. Every movement had to be calculated, every action controlled through coordination and experience. This was logistics without automation, supply chains without software, transport powered entirely by human decision-making and physical effort. Modern factories operate with entirely different transport mechanisms. Hydraulic cranes lift blocks weighing dozens of tons effortlessly. Forklifts maneuver materials through confined industrial spaces with precision steering systems. Conveyor belts move continuous loads without interruption. Computer systems calculate optimal transport routes within facilities. Sensors monitor weight distribution in real time. Automation eliminates uncertainty. But the engineering objective remains unchanged. Move mass safely from one location to another, without loss of control, without structural damage. Ancient builders achieved this through coordination and friction management. Modern systems achieve it through hydraulics and automation. Different methods, same physics. Because moving stone is never just about force, it is about control. Moving stone across ground is one challenge, lifting it upward is another entirely. Gravity does not negotiate. It does not weaken over time. It applies the same downward force on every structure ever built. To raise blocks weighing several tons without cranes required a different kind of solution. Not vertical lifting through suspended force, but gradual elevation through inclined planes. Ramps transformed vertical distance into horizontal distance, reducing the force required at any single moment. The inclined plane is one of the most fundamental mechanical principles in engineering. It does not reduce total work, it redistributes effort across distance, allowing controlled movement of extreme mass. Ancient builders constructed ramps from limestone chips, clay, and compacted earth, wide enough to support sleds, stable enough to prevent collapse, gradual enough to maintain control. This was not guesswork, it was applied physics. As elevation increased, ramp design became more complex. Longer ramps required more material, more maintenance, more planning. Steeper ramps reduced distance but increased required pulling force. Engineers had to balance slope angle with workforce capability. Too steep and control would be lost. Too shallow and construction would slow beyond practicality. Evidence suggests ramps may have wrapped around the structure itself, forming spiral pathways upward, allowing continuous elevation as the pyramid grew. Each block placed precisely into position, not dropped, not forced, but guided into alignment through incremental adjustment. Positioning heavy mass is never about speed, it is about eliminating uncontrolled motion. Because once mass begins moving without control, structure becomes vulnerable to damage. Alignment was not simply visual, it was geometric. Surveyors used tools based on consistent physical principles. Plumb lines used gravity to define vertical reference. Water surfaces established true horizontal planes. Shadow tracking allowed determination of directional orientation. The stars themselves served as reference points, providing fixed positions in the sky that could guide structural alignment. This allowed builders to orient the pyramid with extraordinary accuracy relative to true north. Precision was achieved through repetition, through verification, through correction. Each stone contributing to cumulative structural stability. Load distribution became the defining factor in long-term survival. The pyramid's shape itself distributes compressive force downward and outward, preventing concentrated stress points, preventing structural collapse. This is why the structure has endured for millennia. Modern factories approach these same engineering challenges through entirely different tools. Computer models simulate structural loads before construction begins. Finite element analysis predicts stress concentrations with mathematical precision. CNC machines cut materials to exact dimensions. Laser scanning verifies alignment in real time. Hydraulic cranes lift components vertically without ramps. Automation replaces manual coordination. Energy replaces physical labor. But the engineering principles remain unchanged. Load must be distributed. Alignment must be controlled. Structural stability must be maintained. The Great Pyramid demonstrates that these principles were understood long before modern instrumentation existed. Ancient engineers lacked computers, but they did not lack engineering logic. They worked within constraints imposed by physics. Just as modern engineers do today, tools evolved, methods evolved, scale evolved. But engineering itself remains constant. Because whether guided by stars or lasers, whether lifted by ramps or cranes, whether shaped by copper tools or diamond blades, every structure that survives is built on the same unchanging foundation: understanding how matter behaves under force.